Hey, Michael with XForcePC here. I want to talk to you about and give you maybe a reality check on graphics cards and the situation we're in. Currently, it is right at the beginning of October of 2020, and video card prices, graphics card prices, whatever you want to call them, are even more out of control than they've ever been. So when these graphics cards came out, they were given an MSRP. And the MSRP on the graphics cards, you can see here the 3060 was $329, 3060 Ti $399, 3070 $499. People would kill to pay these prices. The 3070 Ti, which hadn't even been out that long, $599, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read you every number. That's the MSRP. Most people expect to pay the MSRP or less on any item that they buy, whether it be a car or a graphics card or anything. But that's just not reality. Reality is supply is 1/10 of demand right now, and it's been that way for over a year. So here's the reality check. Here's what I've been paying for these cards. I'm just full disclosure here. Here's what I've been paying. You know, $500 for the 3060, $615. I just bought some 3060 Ti's the other day, paid $615 for them. Some 3070s I bought recently. Actually, yeah, that's a little low. I think I actually paid $900. It's gone up. I paid $900 for some 3070s I bought recently, and probably the 3070 Ti is going to be more like $1,000 if I buy some more of those. I have plenty of them right now, so I don't plan to buy any in the near future. And you can see we're approaching on some of these things, you know, paying $900 for the 3070, close to double of MSRP. The 3080, last ones I bought were in the $1,250 range. I have paid as much as $1,350, I believe. Yeah, $1,350 is the most I've paid for 3080s, which is just crazy. That's right at double MSRP. So that is why it is so hard to get a system these days with these cards. That is why they're more expensive. A lot of companies have long lead times. We have been very proactive in seeking out graphics cards, and I have a pretty good stash of them. But I did have to pay this for them. Nobody's paying this. I don't even think Dell pays that. Now, if you say, well, I just gotta have a graphics card, you know, I'm just little old me, and I want one today, you can always go out on eBay or Amazon and buy from a third-party seller. This is someone who goes out, stands in line at 3 o'clock in the morning at Best Buy and gets one, and then they put it on eBay or Amazon. And these are called scalpers. And the scalpers, 3060, I just looked, about the best price I could find in a quick search was $800, $900 for a 3060 Ti, $1,200 for a 3070, $1,500 to $1,650 for a 3070 Ti, $1,800 for a 3080, and $2,200 for a 3080 Ti. Yeah, that's the reality. So definitely double when you're looking on eBay, if not more than double on eBay and Amazon. Now, the second part of the equation is why. Why are they so expensive? Well, the number one reason, and I don't know that everybody would agree with me, the number one reason is Bitcoin mining. It is profitable. Before they introduced these low or light hash rate cards, all the cards they're putting out now are called low hash rate, meaning they will only mine at about 50% of what the original releases of these cards would mine at, but you can still make a profit. If you have a non-LHR card, you could pay the card off mining Bitcoin, or technically it's Ethereum, which is an altcoin. You could mine and pay the card off in probably 6 months. It will depend, of course, on the price of the currency at the time, but about 6 months. So you go out, buy a 3080, even if you buy one for, let's say, maybe this price, you could pay it off in 6 to 10 months, and basically you own the card and you didn't pay anything for it, in theory, because you mined on it. And that is the biggest reason there's a shortage on graphics cards. Now, you combine that with some other factors. Number one, there was just great demand for these new graphics cards. They've outperformed the 2060 quite 20 series quite significantly. And then lastly, you've got, of course, human malware. I'm not going to say the C word because I don't know if that'll get flagged on YouTube or not, but we'll call it human malware. That has caused factories to shut down for weeks or months at a time. You can't buy automobiles. You go by automobile parking lots and you'll see the lots are like half full. That's because the chips they need to run the cars, a lot of cases they can't get them fast enough. They've had to shut down production lines. So all the stuff made in China and the Far East has been subject to these shutdowns, whether it be for human malware or there's also the Chinese New Year and various other things. And then you have some factories that depend on other factories that have had to shut down because they can't get the raw materials they need to build the chips. So it's a whole thing. And then you take the AMD side of the equation. AMD graphics cards and AMD processors are built on the same manufacturing assembly line. And, they can only spit out so many so fast. So, if they're making processors, they're not making graphics cards and so forth. So it's a combination of all those factors. That's the why. This is what we're left with here. Supply and demand. Demand is 10 times supply. And it's resulting in anywhere from 50% to 100% higher prices on these cards. And you might say, when is this going to go away? It will not go away in the foreseeable future. The only thing that will cause this to sort of self-correct would be a total collapse of Ethereum and all the other, Bitcoin altcoins. There's all these other ones, Doge and Ergo and Ravencoin and all these other. If somehow all that collapses, or the United States outlawed cryptocurrency, which they said they're not going to do, that would absolutely help. The market would get flooded with a lot of cards on eBay. Those cards would probably be selling at that point for MSRP or around that. But then you have the thing is, do I buy a card off of eBay that's been used for mining, and will I even have a warranty? Because a lot of these companies, when you send in a bad card, let's say you get the card, it works for 6 months and then dies, a lot of the companies want to see your original purchase receipt, and they're not going to take an eBay receipt and say, well, that's a perfectly good receipt. Now, if you bought it on Amazon from a third-party seller on Amazon, that's probably the better way to do it. I still am not giving any guarantees there, but an Amazon receipt would probably look a whole lot better than an eBay receipt where it's obviously used. Technically, when you buy it on Amazon, it's going to say that it's used on the receipt, but that would give you a better shot. I'm not advising anyone go out and buy used mining graphics cards, and that's way down the line. That's a lot of what ifs. So there you go. There's the state of graphics cards here in late 2020, and it's not going to change anytime soon. Minimum, we're looking through the end of the first quarter, I'd say, of 2021, almost guaranteed to be this type of pricing or worse. It's been getting worse, and probably through the whole end of next year. But a lot of it depends on where things go with the human malware and of course the mining of coins.